Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. That I'm here to help you guys out how to make yourselves feel better. Many of us are doing our own hair or even with a big root. I can help you touch up your root. I'm going to be giving you guys different hair tips on how to take care of your hair. We're going to start by doing the roots today. It's been about 3.5, 4 weeks since I've done my root last, and the last time I did my root I was actually a blonde. So today I'm going to change it up a little bit and I'm going to be going gray on the root. So I'm just going to cover up. You want to make sure you cover your clothes well. I don't want anyone feeling insecure and running to the pharmacy for their product, and then you're stuck doing a big color correction. Not only color correction spends hours in the salon for you, but it's also very costly as well. So we want to prevent those mistakes from happening. As the professional, I love to help people out, get the hair they want and feel good. So just because you're stuck in the house and nothing doesn't mean you have to suffer with your gray roots. I'm here to help you. So first I'm gonna brush out all the knots. This is just dried from the shower, so it's a little frizzy, but that doesn't matter. Now I'm all covered up. I am going to put my gloves on. You want to wear gloves, especially if you're gonna do a darker color, just to protect your hands. Color does stain. So I'm all covered up and I'm ready to do my root. So today I'm going darker, so we're gonna create a shadow look, and I'm gonna teach you how to apply your own color. So I've got my color all here ready in the bowl. We're gonna mix it well, make sure there's no clumps or lumps. If I send you your root color at home, you'll be receiving your dye in one bowl and peroxide in another, along with a pair of gloves, a brush, and a plastic for your clothes, because we always want to make sure your clothes are protected. And if you're doing your color at home, you might want to just put on a shirt that's old or something like that so you're more comfortable, because most of you probably don't have a cape like this. So you just want to make sure everything's mixed well, that it's a nice texture, that you've mixed the two together and there's no lumps. You're going to begin, so you're going to make sure you brush your hair out. So I've mixed my color very well now. Now it's all ready and I put it aside. I like to have everything ready next to me. So I have a towel for my hands in case I get any on my hands. I am doing a darker root, so I just want to make sure that my ends are not going to be touching the root. So you're going to take your brush and you're going to hold it just like you would a pencil, okay, or a paintbrush when you're painting. Same thing. You're going to hold your brush and you're going to make a separation right down the center of your head. So from the middle and the front, back to the crown. So we'll start by doing that. Separation. Now you've got both sides. So when you're working with the hair, you want to think of the head as quarters. So you're gonna have, this is now split in half. You're going to then go from the crown of the head straight down to the back of the ear. And the same for the other side. So I'm gonna put dye there, so it's just gonna stay naturally on its own. It's gonna be easier, but I just wanna show you guys before I start applying the color, how we separate the hairs. It's gonna go into quarters. You've got half here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got 4 quarters to your head. Now I'm gonna apply the root. Make sure you apply a liberal amount. Don't pack it on, but you want to apply a good amount, because especially when you're covering gray, you need the product really to be on there to have full coverage. So, and I'm gray, so I have to make sure that everything's well covered. Normally what we do is we start around the front of the face and the top, because that's where people usually gray first, and gray hairs are pretty tough to cover and they require more time, so we like to begin there. So we're gonna start by taking the dye onto the brush. I've dipped my brush, make sure it's not dripping, and you're going to apply straight to the root like that. And you can go and do the same thing on that side. So now your two sides will stay separate, and then you're gonna go from the crown of the head down to the back of the ear. Holding the front quarter out, you're going to apply your color to that separation line right there. Go along the line. So now your back will stay back, and you want to do the other side too. Same thing, hold your hair back. See, I'm not rubbing the dye in and I'm not dabbing it, I'm just kind of letting the color sit onto the hair. Now you've got your 4 quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything's separated now. So you're gonna work from the front. You're gonna start doing the frame of the face, and the reason we're gonna start there is because very often people have very stubborn grays over here. You want that to have the maximum processing time, so we're gonna start there. So I'm gonna place the dye along the hairline. Take your time, there's no rush. This is not bleach. When you're working with bleach, it's a little different. And then we're gonna go under. No, I'm being very light-handed on my brush. All right, good. So I've gotten the whole hairline now, right along the hairline. That's done. I'm going to do the other hairline. The other side, same thing. Make sure not to paint your face because it's gonna stain. Well, it is a root smudge, so I'm coming a little bit out with the brush very light-handedly. But I'm pretty much just staying on the root growth. I'm not spreading it like onto the hair. So now we're gonna put that back down. And we're going to do side to side. So I'm gonna start with the right side here. So I take a thin layer. See that? I started at the crown where that separation was, bringing it all the way to the front with the tip of my brush. And I'm going to bring it down and continue to do the same technique. All the way down the hair. Try not to get overwhelmed and have your hair all over the place. This is why we do sections, so that we can keep things under control. And you don't have hair flying all over the place. I have full control of the strand. You want to hold that strand that you flipped over. Your free hand, you're going to grab the tip of the hair and hold it just so you don't have hair flying all over the place. And we continue down, taking slices. I'm starting from the back to the front. It's just a little bit easier when I'm doing the right side. I'm right-handed, so I just start here, straight to the head, and pull up. Notice I'm pulling very thin sections, being very light on the hand with my brush. If we pull too thick the sections, the product will not apply evenly, and then you will end up with spots, missing color, and things like that. So you really want to make sure that you have full control of your hair. Notice I'm always holding the end of the piece I just flipped up. So now you're going to take all that hair that you just dyed, and you're going to bring it back down. Make sure you don't have any dye on this hand while you're touching your hair, because you don't want to get it on your ends, especially for those of you who have highlights, or like me, where you're going to do a darker root. On the right side, I started back here. This time you're going to see me going this way, but it's only because of which hand I hold my brush in. You can do it whatever way you want, if you prefer to go from the back to the front, or if you prefer to go from the front to the back. That's up to you. So picking it up, pushing this down, pushing all the hair out of the way, and holding your thin section. Now you're going to bring it to the other side. So I'm going to show you what's going to happen if you take the section too thick. So say I take a section and I start all the way down here and I have this big thick piece. I'm lifting it. I'm going to dye that. But then So there's dye there, there's dye there. But if I go in between, you'll notice that the dye did not get over here. So that's why we take small sections, thin sections. Don't rush. There's no reason to rush. It's not a race. You want to make sure they're well covered. Some of you might be lucky enough to live with somebody who can apply them for you maybe. But if not, hopefully this tutorial will help you do your own. Okay, so all the front is done. So now I've done both sides. So the whole front is done. Now we're going to move to the back, which most people find a little bit more complicating, but it's really not so bad. What you're going to do is, again, pull thin sections, but now going from the back, you're going to go down this way. Okay, so again, this way. So you're going to take small sections, pull forward, and paint. I'm going to pull it up, just look from the side, and grab that hair. Pull it forward, holding that piece. You want to make sure you have full control of where your hair is going. Okay, and you're going to place it over here. And you want to watch where you place the hair down because you don't want these ends to go on this. So I'm putting them, as you can see, right over here with the rest of the blonde. And same thing over here. So since you have your separation here, you can pretty much clearly see where you've left off. So you just want to turn your head, pull it over. So I am using this here as my guide. I can see from the side, when I turn my head, I can see that I've left off here. So I just go right under. You can do that from the sides, and that's the whole reason we do that separation. When we do this separation, the one from the top of the head down to the ear, doing that one will help you keep track of the back. So just going down the head, I can clearly see where needs to be colored next. And same for the other side. I can see here where I've done. There's the separation here, and I'm watching my hair as I go down right here. For sure, if you have someone that's home with you, it's way easier to do the back. You can maybe get them to do it, but if you're stuck doing it yourself, it's really not that complicated if you take your time. So you're just gonna go all the way down the head. You can always take a mirror maybe, and you're gonna let all that hair fall to the back, and we wait. So you can wipe along your hairline if you want, just so that dye doesn't stain you. Make sure that your dye does remain on those little baby hairs though, because that'll show if they don't get covered up properly. So that's it, guys. That's how you apply a root. Now I'm gonna let them process. I'm covering gray, so I'm gonna leave it for 45 minutes. Also, you always wanna start calculating the time once you're done. So now that I'm finished, I'm gonna take my timer, my little cupcake, and because I'm doing a root coverage, gray hair, I'm setting my timer at 45 minutes. I'm gonna put it aside, and now I'm gonna wait. If it gets a little itchy, don't worry. It's normal, especially if you've washed your hair before. It's possible to be a little itchy. But once I stop touching the hair, it's gonna settle down. It won't be itchy anymore. Once your application is done, that's when you begin your timer. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you need to reach me, you can email me at Laurie.collard@hotmail.com. If you have any questions or if you need any products, I can deliver your root color mixed by the professional with professional salon products right to your door. There's no reason to go to the pharmacy, especially in these days. We don't like to go out and for no reason, and you're standing there guessing, wondering what you should be putting into your hair from the pharmacy. If you're used to the salon, that's not the way to go, because like I said, color fixes are very pricey. And we also, number one top priority is the health of your hair. So if you want to keep your hair healthy and shiny, you need to take care of it with the proper products, and your hair needs care. So if you need anything, feel free to contact me. You can find me on Facebook at Laurie.collard. And I thank you very much for watching my video. Bye.